Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you're all having a wonderful time. Here we have the explosive arrow Ballista Elementalist. I had a really blast playing this build as my league starter in the Forbidden Sanctum. I got the character to level 94 as of this recording, and I think we are in a pretty good spot for a guide on this build right now. I've done most of the bosses except for the Uber Pinnacle bosses, and for leveling you can just switch to a Ballista as soon as you get your first Acendancy, so around level 30 or so, and you will have no problem at all to get to tier 16 red maps with only a Tabula and a Quillrain equipped, so this makes it a really nice low budget build and also a league starter overall. Before we start, just a quick reminder to like the video and also subscribe to the channel to show support. And with that said, let's continue with this guide. So how does this build work? It's quite simple actually. So we link the skill Explosive Arrow with the Ballista totem supports, so we don't have to shoot the skills ourselves. And this skill ramps up its damage by shooting multiple arrows at the target, building up fuses, and the more fuses we have on a target, the more damage we will deal to it. It has up to a maximum of 20 fuses, and we have 6 totem, making it so we will get a lot of fuses in no time. We focus on the ignite damage. This means that we are a damage over time build. And as the Elementalist, we don't have to worry about the ignite chance either, cause a node shaper of flames, making it so hits always ignites. So overall, we put down our totem, we run around and we let they do their thing, and all we really need to do is to apply curses and just try to avoid things as much as we can, even though we are quite tanky as well, even as a Elementalist. We achieve cap on all resistance, even chaos, we have freeze immunity, curse immunity, and we also have a decent amount of evasion and armor, with also 100% spell suppression, with the average of 10 million DPS, and we also have Perment unslaught up. For the skills, for the primal one that we are using is going to be Explosive Arrow, and here we want to link it with Ballista Totems, Deadly Elements, we have Life Tap, Burning Damage, and Ignite Proliferation. And this last one here, Ignite Proliferation, this is making it so once the explosive arrow explode, the ignites will then spread to other enemies within a radius of 20, so this is making it so our clear speed will be insane. Next up we have Lightning Spire linked with Combustion and also Val Molten Shell with a Life Tap. We also have Flame Dash with Flammability Curse, the Elemental Weakness Curse, and also linked with Life Tap. For auras we have Precision with Enlightenment, Determination, and Grace. We're also using Defiance Banner and Vitality as well. For the last ones we have a Frenzy with a Calling Strike just to help with some bosses. And we're also having a Portal Link on this character as well. One thing that you actually can do is that you can take these curses and you can link them with the Frenzy and the curse on hit, making it so when you are shooting your Frenzy you will then apply the curses once you do so. You will have a reduction on the effect though of the curses here. I think it's around 30% or maybe some more, but this makes it so you don't have to self-cast them if that's the way that you want to play. And moving on to the skill tree. And here you can see the whole one. We are pretty much all over the place with this. But let's go over some of the more notable ones here. So Elemental Overload for more elemental damage when we deal a critical strike. Very huge for us. We have the damage over time cluster over here. We are using one medium cluster for this one primarily. So we get Unslaught when we summon a totem. We also have Ancestral Might in this one, but more about that later. Going with the Fire Master here. Ancestral Bond for one maximum number of summoned totems. Get a life here, get the mana reservation, and also the totem nodes here. And for the Totem Master here, I like to take totems, taunt enemies around them for 1 second when summoned, just for the extra defensive layer. Moving down here, going for the elemental damage here, taking the life nodes, going up and taking the totemic seal for some more totem placements and attack speed. We have Mage Bane for even more spell suppression per dexterity or per 15 dexterity. And we go up here, take the suppress for spell damage, and we also have Evasion Master here. Grace has 25% increased mana reservation, so we can fit in all of our auras. Some more life over here, going down, taking the damage nodes here. And then we go down here to Elemental Equilibrium, and this is a very important node for our build. So this means that you cannot have any fire damage added on your items, but you do want either cold, lightning, or even both works fine, so we then deal even more fire damage instead. And then moving down here, taking the damage nodes, get some life here, more life over here, and over here we have all the totem nodes. And this one down here is so we can have one additional maximum number of summoned ballista totems, very huge for us. And then I spent my last point to the right here, picking up some global accuracy attack speed, some life, going with the suppress wheel here until institution, which is the last point for this skill tree. And we also have watchtowers as our anoint on our amulet. And for our Acendancy we are going with the Elementalist, and the first one that we want to go for is Shaper of Flames, and this makes it so hits always ignite and all damage can ignite, and also we deal even more damage with our ignites that we inflict. So this is huge for us, that we don't need to focus on any of the ignites for this build. The second one that we want to go for is Mastermind of Discord, and this makes it so our exposure that we are inflicted applies an extra minus 25% to the affected resistance. So even more damage for us with this one here. The third one is going to be a Heart of Destruction, and gain Covenants when you hit a unique enemy, no more once every 8 seconds, and 60% increased area of effect while you don't have Convergence. And as you can see down there in the middle, conversion grants 30% more damage and lasts 4 seconds, so just a more damage buff overall. And the last one is going to be Bastion of Elements, and this is making it so we get a level 20 Primal Aegis, and this makes it so we can take more elemental damage overall. You get like a bubble around you that can absorb up to, I think it is 2000 elemental damage or something like that. Just one another defensive layer as our last Ascendancy point. For the bandits, you want to kill them all for the extra 2 passive points that they provide. And for Pantheons, we are using Soul of the Brand King as our major god, and this is so we cannot get stun locked, and we also get freeze immunity from this, and we also get some chill reduction here as well. For the minor one, I'm using Soul of Aberrath at the moment, and this is for the less duration of ignite on us. Soul of Jadul is also a very popular one for reduced effect of curses on you. And for the gear we have 2 uniques that are very good for this build. So first up, let's start with the belt called Dian Dawn, and this provides a lot of great stats for us, but the main thing here is the ignites you inflict with attacks deal damage 42% faster, and this is obviously huge because we are an ignite build, and you can boost this damage on this by applying Turbulent Catalyst on the belt, and this makes it so the ignites deal damage even faster. And the next unique that we have is going to be the Dodress Damning Ring, and this makes it so we can apply 1 additional curse, and we also get some all elemental resist on this as well, so very good overall. And this is also very big because of the changes that they recently made for cursing on bossing. And this is a huge damage increase for us. It's pretty much 1/5 of all of the damage just by having this ring. For the rest of the gear, I would first just quickly like to mention that they are all self-made and don't really know the current value of all the pieces. But if I would have to guess, the current setup would be around 15 divine or so, maybe even less, so it's not too bad for what this build can achieve. So let's continue with this bow here. So here we want to have a typical +3 bow. If you wonder how you can make one, I made a video about it recently, so go check it out, link will be in the description. And the next for the helm, the thing we want here is going to be the enchantment, and this makes it so we can fit all our auras. With a little bit more investment, you could maybe even change this with the explosive arrow has increased attack speed for even more damage output. For the neck, we have a very basic one with a lot of stats, life and resist with the Anoint Watchtower, which gives us 1 additional totem, and the oils here are 1 indigo and 2 silver oils, so it's not too pricey at all. Ideal for the amulet, you want to have +2 fire skills here, and even maybe have the damage of a time multiplier if you got the currency for it. And for the quiller here, try to get as much attack speed as you can get, and if you are lucky, also some damage of time multiplier with attack skills. For the boots, nothing special here really. Get some movement speed, suppress, life, and as much resist as you can get. The important things here for the gloves will be the Eater of World and Searing Exarch implicits, and here making it so we always deal exposure on hit, and also the fire damage over time multiplier obviously helps out with the damage, and if you can try and get some attack speed here as well, that's really awesome. And on the ring we want to get the damage of time multiplier, and this we can get by using a Essence of Delirium on the ring. And lastly, for the body armor, try to get as much life, suppress and resist as you can get. I went and I got increased effect of Determination for some more armor, and also increased effect of curses for more damage for the implicits here. And here you can go crazy with like +2 maximum resist or something like that for even more defensive layers. A good thing to note here is also that we don't really need a 6 links body armor, so this saves up quite a bit of currency, so you can focus on a decent base to craft on right away without having to worry about links. And let's go over the jewels real quick here. Let's start with the cluster here, and it's a medium one with increased totem damage, and here we want to have Sleeping Sentries for the unslaught when we summon a totem, so this will give us permanent unslaught pretty much. And we also have Ancestral Might for some more totem life, increased duration, and also more damage. And for all our normal jewels here, you want to focus on getting increased maximum life, fire damage of a time multiplier, and then also try to focus on reduced effect of curses. And we do have 4 of these. We have one up here, one over here, and let's see, down here, and the last one is all the way down here. And these jewels are making it so we do get curse immunity, which is really awesome. For the flask we're using is a very basic setup. For the life one here we have bleed immunity. We are using a Jade Flask for evasion, and here we have even more increased evasion rating. We are using a Granite for armor, and on here we have increased attack speed for more damage. We have Quicksilver for movement speed with increased armor for even more defense. And the last one is going to be a Quartz Flask for phasic and suppress spell damage, and we also have increased movement speed on this one as well. So there we have it. This has been my explosive arrow Ballista Elementalist, and overall it's such a strong build, I believe, and I'm quite happy with how well it has been performing so far. I still have a couple of things that I want to try and make, like upgrading my gloves here for example, trying to get some more attack speed, or something like increased damage during flask effects, or maybe I'm going with increased attack speed while focus for a huge 50% attack speed boost for bossing example. And as I mentioned before, we also have the neck here. We could get 1+2 fire scale and also the damage over time multiplier. The bases here are quite expensive though, so that's why we are still using this one. So that's something that I probably want to look for in the future. We also have Watcher Side that we can play around with a bit as well. I'll also link the POB in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. Thanks for watching, hope you found this video helpful. Like the video, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!